Corporate employee exploitation. This is one of the major topics that in a Kenyan context, most people do not talk about. But basically, I feel I have the mandate to, or rather the urge to talk about this specific issue. This is from a personal experience. I remember there's this service industry company I was working for, and they were outsourcing services. So the tricky part is when they actually offered us the contract has specified a specific amount that you're supposed to be paid. And down the line, working for them after a month, once the payment came in, or rather we were salaried, the pay came lower from the specified amount. And I was really intrigued as to why this was happening. So what I did, I wrote an email to the HR department. And I never got an answer, unfortunately. They never really replied back to us, but they actually talked to our department lead and told them that we are supposed to write emails to the HR if there's any issue using our work emails. So this was a scam because work emails are emails that they create for us, and with us using work emails with regards to inquiry and everything that revolves around that, does not there's no blueprint. That is what I mean. Like, basically there won't be a blueprint, because once you leave the job, they change the passwords and they remain with the emails. So basically everything that you talk under the company is kind of confidential. What I found to be really intriguing is the fact that they never replied to my personal emails, but they actually replied to our work emails. And their idea of an apology was that they had a typing error on our contracts, which I found to be very suspicious, and I kept on following up. So when I followed up, they said that it was a typo error and that the amount wasn't what was specified on the initial contract, and the contract had changed. So I was really furious and started to inquire that it has been over a month. We had signed our contract and I sent back to the HR department. I mean, what is their work if not to go back, to like kind of go through the contract and like get back to us and like tell us if there's a mistake that was done and all that. But they assumed that everything was okay. So I kept on following up until it became kind of an issue. And they called me an insider. Unfortunately, they called me an insider and they said that I'm basically not good for business. And on our next departmental meeting, I was called out and told that unfortunately they won't be renewing my extension because apparently I'm a bad influence to some of the other employees. And I knew exactly what they were doing. They were terminating my contract because basically they saw me as a threat, because I felt that they were actually living from us. They were literally stealing from us, and the company was okay with it. Because this was an issue that we actually passed across to our team leads and also the departmental manager, but nothing was done about it. All of them assumed that everything is okay. Apparently, I think that is the culture of the company, which is unfortunate. So I'd like to take this opportunity to inquire, or rather ask for aid or support for pro bono services with regards to legal assistance. I believe we still have a case here, a case that needs to be pursued. To picture them as an example of not exploiting their employees. I feel like this is a case that can actually bring some light into how the corporate culture in Kenya is a bit toxic, which is sad. This is not something we should be experiencing, considering we have so many high levels of unemployment rates. People are really struggling, but these people are taking advantage of their employees, people who have families, people who are really struggling to make ends meet, which is so unfortunate. My other issue is I'm not quite sure of how labor unions in Kenya operate, and I really feel like we need to implement better policies to have labor union representatives in every companies where employees are signing contracts or anything of the sort. Because I feel so many people out here are being exploited for just being whom they are, good employees. because companies want to make bigger profit margins, which is unfortunate. Although I don't know if the company heads actually know about the shady kind of businesses that go behind the curtains, or rather it's a systemic kind of like management issue. But I feel like this is an opportunity we should take to kind of fight systemic corporate employment that is actually rising in Kenya. The market in Kenya basically is really growing. It has been going for the last few years. So I feel like we have a potential to become a really, really big market economy that is going to help so many people. But with unscrupulous business behavior, I feel like so many people are losing hope, especially when you're going to work for companies, because at the end of the day, you feel like you'll be exploited and taken advantage of because there's no one else to fight for you. And I'm calling out to labor unions that kind of like try to find wind of these kind of issues. I feel like this is a mandate that you should follow through with, to actually protect the interest of employees, because these multinationals are really taking advantage of our young and industrious employee, people who have hope, in getting or rather prospering in the employment sector. Thank you guys for listening to my video. See you on my next video. Kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.